All right, good morning. Thanks for joining us here at 7. I'm Caitlin Nuclo.
I'm Tracey McCain. You're watching Eyewitness News on the Wax. We have a lot to talk about, but first we'll greet meteorologist Jill Gilardi. She has a check of our forecast. Good morning, Jill.
Good morning. It is definitely chillier out this morning. I did grab the jacket for the first time.
Only a light sweater
for the first
me.
time. Well, I mean, I didn't really dress appropriately for the outdoors, but you know.
By the afternoon, though.
I'm great. I don't need that jacket. You won't either. But this morning, there's definitely a chill out there since we had that weak front that went through yesterday. Live right now, it is in New London. A few little wispy clouds, a couple contrails, and 53 degrees there. North wind blowing at 8 miles per hour. We do have 40s on the map this morning. Tolland 47, Willimantic 46, upper 40s Waterbury points north and westward. One of the warmer locations is New Haven at 56 degrees. Let's take a look at the hour-by-hour forecast. Help you plan out your day. Again, a few high-level clouds this morning, a few puffy fair weather clouds this afternoon. No rain, very comfortable air, and temperatures are going to be climbing into the upper 70s, especially in and around the central part of the state. Back towards the northwest as we go town by town, a high of 75 degrees in Litchfield, but 80 in Windsor. We're going to get up to about 76 in Tolland and upper 70s across the Quiet Corner as well, which is pretty seasonal for this time of year. A little cooler as you get down towards the shoreline. Niantic about 72, Madison 75, but Portland, hey, 78 degrees. So beautiful weather today. Highs in the 80s taking over. We'll show you the hotter days coming up in your first alert forecast. Caitlin?
All right, thanks, Jill. Let's get you a check on those roads heading out right now. 7:02. Majority of the state looking pretty typical for this time of morning. You can see almost a 40-minute ride, 84 eastbound Waterbury to Hartford, and just about a 110-minute ride here, New Haven to the George Washington Bridge, 95 southbound. Typical delays that we're seeing, especially down through Fairfield County along the Parkway, but we're crash and incident free. That's a little bit of good news as you're getting ready to head out the door here this morning. Bright sunshine. You will need the sunglasses. Sun glare could be a little bit of an issue as we're taking a live look here in Hartford, 91 north and southbound. Here in Waterbury, Meriden, you can see that bright sun glare here on 691 and in Middletown along Route 9. I'm Caitlin Francis with your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
Well, this morning, new battleground state polling from CBS News shows Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump separated by razor-thin margins. The candidates for president debated last night to try to win undecided voters.
Channel 3's Jared Hill is in Philadelphia this morning with a recap of some of the biggest moments. What's up? Good debate.
A handshake kicked off the first meeting between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. But the 90-minute debate soon turned into a sparring match over issues like the economy.
I imagine and have actually a plan to build what I call an opportunity economy.
I had no inflation, virtually no inflation. They had the highest inflation.
And immigration.
They've destroyed the fabric of our country. Millions of people let in.
What we have in the former president is someone who would prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem.
The former president even spreading misinformation about migrants in Ohio.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
Both candidates continued to make their case after the debate. Vice President Harris greeting supporters at an event here in Philadelphia, while former President Trump claimed victory in the spin room with reporters.
This was my best debate. I thought it was very good.
This is very much two different visions for our country.
Both campaigns taking a pause today to mark 23 years since the September 11th attacks are back in the swing states tomorrow. Jared Hill, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Well, the Harris campaign got a big celebrity endorsement just a few minutes after that debate wrapped up. Taylor Swift posted on social media, "I believe we can accomplish so much more in this country if we are led by calm and not chaos." Swift explained that she was motivated to endorse Vice President Harris after the Trump campaign circulated fake AI images that falsely claimed that she was endorsing the former president. Well, the back-and-forth battle on the national stage showed the stark differences in each candidate's vision for our country.
We want to bring in Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Marcy Jones now, who's in studio breaking down how voters are responding to this debate.
Good morning. Well, reaction to last night's debate continues to pour in from voters across the state. And while there is a huge range of political opinions, a common theme is surfacing as November's presidential election creeps closer. Voters are paying attention to every move of both candidates. For some students at University of Hartford, this November will be the very first time they'll get the chance to vote for president. Like many Americans, they're taking the responsibility of voting seriously, making sure to follow both the Trump-Vance and Harris-Walz campaigns. That includes tuning into Tuesday night's debate. According to census data, even with a record turnout for the 2020 election, just over half, roughly 51% of Americans ages 18 to 24 voted. Compare the Gen Z turnout with that of baby boomers. 76% of those ages 64 to 74 voted in 2020. Historically, reasons for low turnout among young voters include lack of candidate satisfaction to voting accessibility. Dozens of students gathered last night to watch the first presidential debate of the 2024 election. The event served also as a place for them to register to vote, many of them expressing their encouragement at the interest level from their peers.
I'm very invested in politics as a whole, and while I personally already know who I'm going to vote for, I'm very invested in how the election is going to go.
We want them to really understand that political leaders are not going to pay attention to them unless they go out and vote.
According to several polls, the slight majority of U.S. voters say that they have already made up their decision of who they will be casting their votes for, and the candidates are still neck and neck. In the studio, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Right, we want to know who you think won last night's debate. We have a poll up right now on the Channel 3 app.
Well, today marks 23 years since the September 11th terror attacks on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon. There are several events happening today across Connecticut to honor the nearly 3,000 people who were killed on that tragic day.
To honor the lives lost in the terrorist attack, the Connecticut Fire Academy will hold a 9/11 memorial in Windsor Locks at 9 this morning. And the Pearl Harbor Memorial Bridge in New Haven will light up red, white, and blue tonight in recognition of the somber anniversary.
To Bethany now, where the Board of Selectmen says they're teaming up with the JCC in Woodbridge to provide after-school care until June of 2025. This comes after the town's interim Parks and Rec director resigned on Friday, forcing officials to pause its after-school program. The JCC program is a half-hour shorter, and it can only handle 46 kids. The Town Finance Committee has agreed to cover the difference in program and bus costs, but families are still skeptical.
Still so many families out there that need more childcare options than what the town is able to provide at this time. I would love to put my daughter in the JCC if spots become available. I've put myself up for a wait list, so just waiting to hear back, and hopefully they're able to figure things out quickly.
Well, this comes after former Bethany Parks and Rec employee Anthony Mastrangelo was charged with sexually abusing children. The first select woman, Paula Confrancesco, says the Bethany Community School is helping with the before school program and could have a soft opening on September 23rd. State police investigating a former school employee who is accused of misusing district money.
Channel 3's Roger Susanen joins us now live at the First Alert desk with more on the investigation and the fallout.
Good morning, ladies. You know, state police say these misused funds were used to purchase instructional materials. At this point, police have not identified the employee, but we know they worked for District 8, which serves Hebron, Andover, as well as Marlborough. And the district recently did alert parents through a letter explaining as much as they could about the situation. Superintendent Colin McNamara wrote in that letter that, quote, "We take such fiduciary obligations very seriously, and we will continue to collaborate with all stakeholders to help ensure district funds are used appropriately." Now, we've posted that entire letter on the WFSB News app. You can read it there. Again, the employee has been fired by District 8. Live at the First Alert desk, I'm Roger Zen. Jill, I'll send it over to you.
All right, thanks, Roger. Well, we want to share a beautiful sunrise photo. This is just out of Rhode Island. And check out this view. This is out of Point Judith. And you can see a little lighthouse in the distance, few wispy clouds. What a great shot there. Thanks, Andrew, for sending that in. Here's another live view, though, over in Mystic. Very similar sky conditions. It's bright, it's beautiful, and definitely refreshing this morning. 53 Groton versus 48 Waterbury, 51 in Hartford. So there's some cool pockets. So definitely need the light jacket, long sleeve for the ride into school for the kiddos. This afternoon, they won't need that, though, with those temperatures rising into the 70s to near 80 degrees. And 80s, well, they're making a comeback. Not talking about the music, talking about the temperatures. By Friday, 86 degrees. We're heating up. The tropics very active, and we'll have the latest regarding Hurricane Francine coming up here very shortly.